My name is Grace Adebayo. 34 years old now, but everything began when I was just a girl from Ikeja trying to find my way in Lagos. I grew up helping my mom at her small food stall, waking early to fry Akara, selling bread and tea to people rushing to work. After secondary school, I learned baking and catering. I saved every single kobo until I could rent a tiny shop and open Grace's oven in Ikeja. It was small, one oven, a few plastic chairs, but it felt big to me. I baked fresh loaves every morning, made cakes for birthdays, meat pies that sold out fast. Customers came back because the bread was soft, the pies hot, and I always smiled when I handed them over. They called me Auntie Grace even though I was young. I loved the warmth of the oven, the smell of yeast, the way a child's face lit up when I slipped them an extra biscuit. David came into my life quietly, like he belonged there from the start. We met in SS2 at Ikeja Grammar School. He sat behind me in maths class. I was the one who finished homework quick and shared notes. He was tall, calm, always borrowing my book because he said I explained things better than the teacher. One afternoon he stayed after class. "Grace, your bread from home smells nice every day," he said with a small smile. I laughed and broke off a piece from my lunch bag for him. From that day, he walked me to the bus stop. We talked about school, family, what we wanted in life. He wanted to study accounting and work in a bank. I told him I dreamed of my own bakery where people felt welcome. He listened like every word was important. After school, we stayed close. He went to Yabatech for accounting. I did short courses in catering and baking. We dated slowly, walks in the evening, sharing suya by the roadside, sitting on benches and parks until it got dark. He never rushed me. He respected my mom, helped her carry heavy pots to the stall sometimes. My mom liked him. "That boy has a good heart," she told me. He proposed on my 25th birthday. He took me to a small restaurant in Vine. Expensive, just good food and soft music. After we finished eating, he pulled out a small box. Inside was a gold ring, simple, clean, shiny. "Grace, you've been my piece since secondary school. Marry me. Let's build a life together." I cried right there. People clapped. I said yes. The wedding was warm and real. Small church in Ikeja, white plastic chairs outside under canopies because the sun was hot. Family came: my mom and her best rapper, David's parents from Ogun State, his sister Joy from Abuja, bringing drinks and laughter. We danced to Afrobeat at the reception. People sprayed money aunties, sang, children ran around. David held my hand the whole day, whispering my wife every few minutes. We rented a 2-bedroom flat in Maryland. No big honeymoon, just 3 days and eat by the beach. We walked barefoot on the sand, ate fresh fish, talked about kids. 2 boys and a girl, he said. "They'll have your smile." Rested my head on his chest and believed every promise. Life began to feel steady. I expanded the bakery, got a bigger oven on credit, hired 1 girl to help with orders. David finished NYSC and got a job at a bank in Victoria Island. Decent salary, suit, every morning car allowance. We paid bills together, saved a little each month. Nights we cooked my stew as fried rice. We watched Nollywood movies on the small TV, laughed at the dramatic scenes. He still kissed my forehead before sleep. Called me my Grace, like it was his favorite word. We tried for children, but it didn't happen. Doctors said maybe stressed from work in Lagos life. We kept hoping, kept loving each other. My best friend Sarah was always part of our days. We grew up on the same street in Ikeja. She was loud, bold, full of energy, where I was quiet. After school, she studied marketing and got a job at an ad agency. She came to the bakery, often ate free cakes, gave ideas for posters, helped me post on Instagram. She and David got along well. She teased him. "David, treat my sister right." Oh, he laughed and said, "Sarah, you know I do." I felt blessed, husband who loved me, best friend who supported me. Sarah even helped plan our 5th anniversary dinner. Everything felt safe. Then the changes came slowly. David started coming home later. Extra work at the bank, he said. New shirts I didn't buy. New cologne that smelled expensive. His phone was always face down. Password changed. When I asked who texting, he smiled. "Work group, baby. Nothing." I trusted him. Trusted Sarah too. She'd come over with wine, hug me tight, say, "You're lucky, Grace." David is solid. One Friday, I finished early at the bakery. Packed some fresh cakes to surprise him at home. I opened the door quietly. The house smelled like Sarah's vanilla perfume. I heard soft voices from the bedroom. Laughs. I pushed the door. David and Sarah. On our bed. Her on top. His hands on her waist like they belonged there. They didn't see me right away. Then David looked up. Grace. Sarah pulled the sheet. Grace Wheat's not. The cake box slipped from my hands. Frosting smeared on the floor. My heart felt like it stopped. Then it broke open. I turned. Walked out. Down the stairs. Into the street. Lagos kept moving. Okada zooming hawkers. Calling people laughing. I walked far. Sat on a curb near the market. Tears came. Silent. Hot. No sound. Just water falling. Memories hit hard. Our wedding dance, him carrying me over the door, nights he held me when I cried about not having a baby. All gone. Stolen by the two people I trusted most. That night I didn't go home. I called my cousin Linda in Festac. Stayed on her couch. Cried till morning. David called many times. Texts. Grace, please. Come home, mistake. Sarah, I'm sorry. We need to talk. I didn't answer. Next day I went back. David waited, eyes red. Grace, it was only once. Sarah pushed. I love you, once. I asked soft. He looked down. Few months? 12 months. While I baked for him. While I prayed for us. While I called Sarah my sister. I packed a small bag. Told him I need space. Went to a cheap hotel in Ikeja. Alone in the room I cried until my throat hurt. But in the dark, something my dad said years ago came back. Grace, you have more than you know. When time comes, use it. I didn't know what he meant then. But soon I would find out. The hotel room in Ikeja was small and quiet. Just a bed of fans spinning slow and the hum of Lagos outside the window. I lay there that first night, staring at the ceiling, feeling like my body was empty. My chest hurt from crying, but the tears wouldn't stop. They came in waves, quiet and deep, the kind that make your eyes swell and your head pound. I kept seeing them, David and Sarah on our bed, the way he looked when he saw me. The sheet pulled up like it could hide what they did. Every time I closed my eyes, the picture came back sharper. I hugged the pillow tight like it could hold me together. I remembered how David used to wake me with coffee on Sundays saying, "My grace today is for us." We'd sit on the balcony eating bread I baked the night before, talking about nothing and everything. Now those Sundays felt like a dream I woke up from too soon. The betrayal wasn't just the act, it was the months of lies behind it. The smiles he gave me while planning nights with her. The way. Sarah hugged me goodbye, knowing she was going home to him. Morning came gray and heavy. My phone had over 50 missed calls from David and 20 from Sarah. I didn't pick up. I turned it off. I sat on the edge of the bed for hours, just breathing slow, trying to find air in lungs that felt collapsed. My mind went back again, and again how Sarah once cried on my shoulder. When her own relationship ended, saying, "You and David are goals, Grace. Don't ever let go." I held her tight then, wiped her tears, told her she deserved better. Now I wondered if she was already planning, even as she cried on me, if every hug was a step toward taking what was mine. I forced myself to eat something, a small bread from my own bakery I had in my bag. It tasted like nothing like dust. I called my cousin Linda. "Come stay with me," she said, her voice soft with worry. I needed to be alone, to think, to feel the pain fully, so it wouldn't sneak up later. But the alone hurt too much. The room felt smaller every hour. I turned the phone on. Messages flooded in like water through cracks. "David, Grace, please answer." I messed up bad. It wasn't worth it. "Come home, let's talk." "Sarah, I hate myself right now. I don't know how it happened. You're my sister. Please forgive me." The word felt heavy like a stone in my throat, pressing down. I didn't reply. Instead, I went to the banker joint account. I checked the balance. Money was low. David had been spending more lately, dinners, transfers to unknown names, small amounts that added up. I felt sick. I transferred what I could to my personal account, the one I kept for bakery emergencies. Small amount, but it was mine, untouched by his hands. Days passed, slow like time was walking through mud. I went back to the bakery during the day to keep busy. My helper Fatima saw my face and didn't ask questions, just worked harder, took on extra shifts without me saying a word. Customers noticed I was quieter. One auntie who came every morning for bread said, "Grace, you look tired. Oh, everything okay?" I smiled weak, forced the corners up. "Just small thing, auntie." Inside, I was falling apart piece by piece. Nights I walked around Ikeja streets alone, watching people live their lives while mine felt paused, frozen in that bedroom moment. I thought about my mom, who always said, "Grace, when life hits hard, stand tall. You have strength you don't know yet." I didn't feel tall. I felt broken, small, invisible. One evening I went to see Uncle Ikeja, Dad's younger brother who lived in Abuja, but came to Lagos often for business. He was the one who handled my parents' things after they passed. I hadn't seen him much since the funeral, but I remembered his words at the burial. "Grace, your dad left something for you. When you're ready, come," I called him. He said, "Come tomorrow. We need to talk." I took the bus to his place in Maryland. He met me at the door, older, now gray hair, but same kind eyes that saw everything. We sat in his parlor with tea. I told him everything. The affair, Sarah, the months of lies, how I trusted them both completely, how the betrayal felt like two knives at once, one from the man I loved, one from the friend I called sister. Uncle Ikeja listened without interrupting. When I finished, he sighed long, deep. "My sister, I'm sorry, but this pain has timing. Your dad didn't leave just the bakery dream. He invested quiet in real estate and some shares in a growing tech company here in Lagos. He wanted you to have security if life got hard. I managed it all these years. The value now, it's big, very big." He showed me papers, bank statements, property titles, share certificates. The numbers made my head spin, hundreds of millions growing to billions over the years. Quiet money my dad put away so I wouldn't struggle. Uncle Ikeja said I kept it hidden because you were building on your own. But now, this man David, he doesn't deserve any of it. Neither does Sarah. Stared at the figures. Tears came again, not sad ones this time. Something else. Strength maybe? Relief? The pain in my chest loosened a little. I had something. I wasn't empty. Back at the hotel, I started planning. I hired a lawyer through Linda's friend Barrister Tolu, a calm woman who didn't waste words. I showed her messages, photos, bank records I collected from old statements. She nodded. "We have strong case. Adultery. Misuse of joint funds. You can walk away with everything that's yours, including this inheritance he never knew about." I didn't want loud revenge. I wanted justice. Quiet. Clean. I kept staying at the hotel. David came looking for me at the bakery. Fatima told him I wasn't there. He waited outside the hotel one night, eyes tired. "Grace, please." I ended it with Sarah. "I want us back." I looked at him through the door crack. "The man I loved. The man who broke me. David, you chose. Live with it," he cried. Real tears. "I love you." I was stupid. "Don't throw us away." "I didn't throw us away," I said soft. "You did." I closed the door. My hands shook, but my voice didn't. Inside, I cried again. But the tears felt different. They were washing him out of me. I moved careful. Opened new accounts. Transferred what I could. Started looking at properties, small house in Lekki. Nothing flashy, but mine. I kept the bakery running, but hired more help. I needed space to breathe. Sarah tried to meet me once. Sent message. "Grace, can we talk face to face? I regret everything." I didn't reply. Some friendships die. This one did. Weeks turned to months. The lawyer filed papers. Divorce. Division of assets. David got served at his bank. He called frantic. "Grace, what is this?" "We can settle quiet." "No," I said. "We settle in court." The day in court came. Small room, fans turning slow. David sat across looking smaller. His lawyer argued mutual mistake. Barrister Toulouse showed everything: messages, receipts, timelines. The judge listened. Ruled in my favor? No alimony for him. The joint flat sold proceeds to me. He got what he brought, almost nothing. David looked broken when it ended. Outside, he caught my arm. Grace, how did you do this? Where did the money come from? I pulled away gentle. You never asked who I was, David. You saw a baker? A wife? You didn't see the woman my dad prepared for hard days. Ow. His face fell. Regret deep. I lost everything. Yes, I said. You did. I walked away. Sun hot on my skin. No anger left. Just quiet. But the real rise was starting. After the court day, I walked out of that small room in Lagos High Court with the sun hitting my face hard and bright. The judge's words still rang in my ears: no alimony, no claim on my inheritance, the flat sold and money to me. David sat there looking small, like the man I once knew had shrunk away. I didn't look back at him. I just kept walking, and Ikeja, my cousin's friend who came for support, squeezed my hand. You did it, Grace, she whispered. I nodded. No smile yet, but something inside felt lighter, like a weight I carried for years had finally slipped off my shoulders even. If the skin underneath was still raw and sore, the air outside smelled of diesel and roasted corn from the roadside cellars. Lagos didn't stop for my victory. It kept moving fast and loud, but for the first time in months, I felt like I was moving with it instead of against it. The next weeks were a blur of paperwork meetings and quiet decisions that felt bigger than me. Uncle Lamika flew down from Abuja and stayed for almost 2 weeks. We sat in his brother's old office in Vai, going through every document line by line. He explained things patiently, even when my mind wandered back to the bedroom door, the cake on the floor, David's shocked face. Your father would be proud, he said, more than once, his voice thick. He always said you had the heart to handle big things even when life tried to make you small. I didn't feel big. I felt fragile, like one wrong word could crack me open again. But I signed where I had to ask questions when I didn't understand, and slowly, the quiet fortune my dad built became mine in full, no strings, no shadows. I didn't rush to spend or show off. That wasn't me. The first thing I did was pay off the bakery's small loan, the one David signed years ago when we were still dreaming big on paper. The bank manager looked at me strange when I walked in with a check in my hand. Madam, this is cleared in full. I nodded simple. Yes, no explanation. No show, just done. The relief was quiet but deep, like breathing out after holding my breath too long. Then I paid Linda back every single kobo. She lent me for hotel nights, lawyer fees, and the small things she bought when I couldn't even think straight. She tried to refuse, pushed the envelope back. Grace, keep it, you need it more. I held her hand firm. No, you carried me when I couldn't stand. Take it, she cried. I cried too. Not sad tears. Grateful ones that felt clean. The bakery changed next, slow, but sure. I hired 2 more girls from Ikeja, ones like I used to be, with dreams bigger than their pockets and fears bigger than their confidence. I taught them everything step by step. How to knead dough so it rises soft and light. How to pipe icing so the roses look real. How to smile at customers even when your heart is heavy inside. One of them, Temi, told me her mom left her dad after years of pain and shouting. I want to make my own money, she said, eyes fierce. So no man can ever tell me I have nowhere to go? I hugged her tight, felt her shoulders shake. You will, I whispered. You already are. Watching her measure flour with steady hands reminded me of myself at 19 measuring hope 1 cup at a time. I opened the second branch in Lekki. Small space, but bright. White walls, fresh flowers on every table, big windows, letting in morning light. I named it Grace's Oven too. Customers came from everywhere, some just to see if the stories were true. The third branch came in Abuja. Juncle Amika helped find the spot near Wu's market. People started talking online and in person. That Grace from Ikeja, her bread is good, but her story is better. They shared theirs over cake and tea. A woman in her 40s sat one morning, her hands wrapped around a warm mug. "My husband left me for my cousin," she said, voice low. I thought I would die inside. Then I started selling pepper soup from home. Now I have 2 stalls, and my children are proud. She looked at me, eyes shining. "You give hope, Grace." I swallowed hard, felt my throat tighten. "You give me hope too, Auntie." I bought the house in Lekki Phase 1. Nothing big, just a 2-story place with white walls, big windows, and a small garden in the back. I planted roses like my mom used to grow in age, red and pink ones that climbed the fence. Every morning I watered them barefoot, feeling the soil between my toes cool and grounding. The house was quiet at first, too quiet after years of sharing space with David. Nights. I sat on the balcony with tea, watching the lagoon lights flicker across the water. I thought about the girl in Ikeja who shared bread with David, the bride dancing at Ikeja, the wife who stood frozen in the bedroom. Doorway, watching her life break. All those women lived inside me now. They weren't gone. They just grew stronger together, roots deeper. David came once more. He showed up at the Lekki branch on a rainy afternoon, thinner, beard unshaved, eyes tired like sleep never came easy anymore. I let him sit in the back office. The smell of fresh bread drifted in mixing with the rain outside. He spoke low voice, cracking on every word. I lost the bank job. The side things came out. Sarah left Lagos. I'm back with my parents in Ogun. I regret everything, Grace. Every single day I see what I threw away. He looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time, truly seeing. You were always the strong one. I just didn't see it. I looked at him, the boy who walked me to the bus stop, the husband, who promised forever, the man who broke me open and left me bleeding. My throat tightened, but my voice stayed calm. David, regret is yours to carry. I don't hate you. I don't wish you bad. But I don't need you anymore. I never needed you to be whole. I just thought I did, he cried, quiet tears falling on the table between us. Can we ever be friends? Or at least talk sometimes? I shook my head slow. No, some doors close for good. This one is closed. He stood up. Looked around the office, the certificates on the wall, the photos of new branches, smiling staff. You did all this without me? As I said soft. I did. He left. I didn't watch him go. I just sat there breathing deep. After he was gone, I cried. Not for him. For the girl who trusted so blindly. For the years I gave away piece by piece. For the love I thought was mine, but was never really returned the way I deserved. Those tears were the last ones. They washed the rest away, leaving clean space inside. Sarah sent one final message months later. Grace, I moved to Port Harcourt. I think about you every day. I see your bakery posts. I'm proud of you even if you hate me. I'm sorry it doesn't fix it, but I mean it with my whole heart. I read it twice. My finger hovered over reply. Then I deleted it. No anger left. Just closure. Some friendships die quiet. This one did. Life kept growing slow and steady. The bakery became known not just for bread but for stories. Women came in groups, shared their pains over cake and tea. I listened. I hugged. I told them what I was learning. Pain doesn't end you unless you let it. Strength isn't loud. It's quiet. It's getting up the next day even when your knees shake. It's planting roses after the storm, knowing the rain helped them grow. Nights on the balcony became my favorite time. Tea in hand, lagoon lights dancing on the water. I thought about my mom and dad. How they worked hard so I could have more. How they never got to see this version of me, the one who stood tall after falling hard. I whispered to the wind, thank you. I got it now. I'm okay. Tears came, soft ones. Gratitude, not hurt. I smiled through them, feeling the breeze on my face. I never remarried. Not because I closed my heart, but because I learned I was whole alone. I dated sometimes when it felt right, but I was always clear. No more blind trust. If love came again, it would have to match this new me, honest, respectful, real, equal. Until then, I was enough. More than enough. One morning, Temi came to me with a small gift, a framed photo of the first batch of bread. She baked alone, perfectly risen golden. Thank you, Auntie Grace, she said, eyes shining. You showed me I can rise. I hugged her tight. My eyes filled. You showed me too. That was the moment I knew. The heartbreak didn't win. The betrayal didn't define me. The hidden riches didn't save me. I saved myself. One tear at a time. One day at a time. One quiet step after another. If anyone ever asks how I survived, I say this. I cried until there were no more tears left. Then I remembered I was still here, still breathing, still able to build. Loyalty is precious, but it starts with being loyal to yourself. Greed and betrayal cost them everything. For me, it cost me the old version of myself and gave me a better one. I am Grace Adebayo, Baker. Daughter, survivor, woman who rose with hidden riches, but mostly with hidden strength. And I am okay. More than okay. I am free.